What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome to our draft analysis. Keep in mind I said R because once again I'm joined by...
Hello, I'm Max again, and we're gonna go over our amazing draft. In my opinion, it's pretty damn good.
No, we had a great draft.
Yeah.
I'm really excited with it. We actually talked a lot beforehand, and like a month before the draft happened, we just kind of checked in for like initial thoughts on what we were thinking we might want, what we'd want to get, what kind of a team we were going for, and we decided there were a few different megas we were looking into. Our first was actually Mega Scizor, and then Megazard X. We wanted some more offense this season. Our team sort of philosophy is like more aggressive, definitely more on the offensive side. And if you watched my Chicago Muse series, you'll realize I typically play a lot more bulky offense, if anything, more on the bulk side for sure. And I can play a little bit more safely, get some switch-ins, and then maybe do some more passive damage and over time wear down the team, maybe with like a cleanup sweeper at the end. This team is not that. This team is firepower right from the get-go and just hitting hard. So yeah, we were thinking Mega Scizor, Megazard X, maybe Mega Metagross. We wanted a nice Dragon Steel Fairy core. We wanted a nice Fire Water Grass core. And our initial thoughts were OU. We want some offense. We want a Mega that hits hard while still being able to take a hit or two maybe. We want a Dragon, and there's some great Dragons in OU. We were thinking Latios, Garchomp, and we were thinking maybe something pivotal, a little bit more support, utility, and yeah. So should we hop into OU?
Yeah, we pretty much got all of those, but since the draft was pretty much cut in half, since it's half the teams, so you're less likely to be sniped. And luckily, we got like everything we wanted.
So first of all, we got our Mega Scizor, which is pretty hype. Gonna be named Kalden Kozuki after the Code Geass character. Sadly, no, her name's not Karen. It's Kalden. People give me crazy, weird looks every time I say that. They're like, Colin? Who's that in Code Geass? No, it's just not. But yeah, Mega Scizor. Super hype because defensively, this thing's typing is a monstrous typing. It's got such great natural bulk, and it's got so many great resistances. It's got priority, it can set up, it's got knockoff, superpower, U-turn. That's gonna be a huge thing. Volt turn is huge on our team.
I think Mega Scizor actually has the strongest priority in the entire game too.
That's pretty hype.
Sure. Except, I don't know about Mega Pinsir, maybe. Not sure actually, but Mega Scizor is super strong. It's kind of funny because before me and Nick actually started talking, I was like, I want Mega Scizor, and then I talked to Nick,
and I was like, I want Mega Scizor.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, so it was pretty great, and like, I can see a lot coming out of this, whether it's a bulky Roost Defog, U-turn, support set, or something like, straight up offense, Swords Dance, SD, Bullet Punch, Superpower, Bug Bite, Knockoff, something like that. And
as well.
This can be a great pivot, and maybe late game, it just sets up one Swords Dance and then kills everything with Bullet Punch. I'm super pumped to use Mega Scizor.
So strong. Base 150 attack, and it has
monstrous.
Pretty good defenses too, with recovery and everything. It's amazing. Definitely one of the best Megas.
Agreed. So, and second of all, we were looking for our Dragon, and we had talked a lot about which Dragon we wanted, and we were thinking the Latios because defog, hazard removal, some great offense in addition to being like solid bulk as well. And so we ended up getting Latios, and really excited for that because, well, it acts as a really nice pivot for special hits in addition to just dropping Dracos. And speaking of dropping Dracos, we named it Joey after Pokemon D, who's a YouTuber that we both watch and really enjoy.
Fanboy thing there, but
yeah, we're kind of fanboying about it.
Yeah, but Latios is super fast and hits so hard with Dracos and Side Shock. You can put a Hidden Power Fire on there to put on for the steel types, which kind of walls Latios. But it's amazing. It could also calm
it's got great coverage moves. Surf.
Yeah.
The hidden powers, of course, Earthquake, Thunderbolt.
It has Dragon Dance if you want to run that. So.
What?
It has Dragon Dance if we want to run something like that.
Yeah, you know, DD Outrage, like Latios.
Right.
You're gonna see some crazy things from Latios this year.
It gives us an immunity to Earthquake, which is amazing.
Right. And so next, we were thinking more of a pivot, and one of the most annoying mons in the entire game, in my opinion. We got Rotomwash. Now, when you look at this thing's stats, there isn't anything that really jumps out. Its defense and SpDef are the same, and above average at best. Its HP is pretty bad, its special attack is like decent, and its speed is so-so. But its typing is so good, and it works as such a great pivot because of Volt Switch and being able to tank a hit.
Yeah.
And what's really important with our team, we were thinking, you know, offense, right? So we want these Volt Turn users, potentially fast Volt Switchers, potentially slow Volt Switchers, or U-turners, that can take a hit and then Volt Switch and bring in something that will hit really hard and get us some switch momentum, something to just punch a hole in the other person's team. And Rotomwash is really great at doing that. It has recovery and pain split, so. It has Hydro Pump, it's got Volt Switch, it's got Will-O-Wisp, it's got T-Wave. It's just a nice support mon for just about any sort of team.
And also, we also got the Volt Turn core already with our OU, and Rotomwash pairs so well with Mega Scizor, it's crazy. Like, Mega Scizor's only weakness is fire. Rotomwash's only weakness is grass. They cover that really well. So,
yeah, they definitely make a nice core there. And again, another ground immunity, so we don't want, you know, Earthquake spam or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that at all, to be honest.
And Spikes.
Yeah.
So then, UU. We're looking at UU, and we're like, okay, what is one thing we really need from UU? And one of the first things we were thinking was a fairy, because there are not very many good viable fairies. There's Gardevoir, there's Azumarill, there's Sylveon, there's maybe Florges? Clefable. Who am I kidding? The most viable fairy. But yeah, so that was our top priority when we got to UU. It was, we need to get a fairy. And then outside of that, there are some monsters in UU. We actually wanted maybe Fernet, we wanted maybe Krookodile, we were thinking maybe Salamence until that went away, we were thinking Hydreigon. And we were also thinking maybe some bulk, like Reuniclus. But we had the opportunity, so we ended up going with our fairy type, and we ended up picking Sylveon. His name, Sakura Chiriko, after Love Live, hearts all around.
Oh, yeah, we forgot. Rotomwash is called Mr. Clean, by the way.
Oh yeah, Rotomwash, Mr. Clean.
But yeah, Sylveon.
Yeah, you want to talk about Sylveon?
Like now we got our Fairy Dragon Steel Core already, and all of those are like really offensive. They can hit really hard, but also take a lot of hits. Sylveon's base defense isn't the highest, but if you put the investment in there, it can take a lot of hits. And it also has Wish, Heal Bell for Cleric support, and also can set up a Calm Mind. Hyper Voice with Pixelate is amazing with choice specs.
Monstrous.
Yeah, like, it's amazing. Sylveon is definitely one of the best fairies you could draft, especially in UU, because it used to be OU, but luckily it went down now, so we could draft it in UU instead.
Really great value pick.
Yeah, really good pick for you.
In addition, it also gets like Baton Pass, so again with the momentum, and it could be great support for our heavier hitters.
Yeah.
And maybe just get some like chip damage on things so that other mons can OHKO it.
Yep.
And yeah,
Sylveon's just great.
And so, our next mon, we were thinking, okay, let's get that strong fire type, let's get a lead, let's get a rocker, and let's get some versatility. So, we ended up choosing Fernet, who can run a special set, can run a physical set, can run a more bulky defensive set, can run Will-O-Wisp, it can run Grass Knot, it can run Overheat, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Stealth Rock, U-Turn. It's such a versatile Pokemon that can run such a wide variety of sets, and it can hit hard in so many ways that I feel like a lot of times during the season, we're going to bring it in and it's going to pack so much offensive power, but it could be so offensive on the special side or the physical side that the opponent's going to have to make a 50-50 as like which wall do they bring in against it, or which Pokemon do they sacrifice to find out which like type of attacker it is. Yeah, and maybe if they do that, we get momentum with U-Turn. So
yeah, I think
it's going to be a really good mod.
It's one of the best draft league Pokemon you could get. It's so versatile. You never really know what to expect from it. It can set up a Swords Dance, it can set up a Nasty Plot, and it would just kind of like Lucario in a way. You never know what way it will set up, which is why both of them are so good.
Right.
It's really hard to predict, and it also gives us Stealth Rock, which we didn't have yet.
Yeah, Stealth Rock actually kind of a weakness of our team.
Yeah.
And so it was good to at least get Fernet, who might be a rocker in the future. Also, if you look at like our speed tiers, we have Mega Scizor really slow. We have Latios really fast. We have Rotomwash in between. Then we have Sylveon really slow, and then we have Infernape really fast. So we're hitting a lot of different speed tiers.
Yeah.
That means the opponent is going to have to prepare for all these different speed tiers. He can't just, invest a lot in bulk knowing that he can outspeed most of our team. He's got to prepare for at least some speed, and that's going to pressure the team building process for all of our opponents throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely.
And so lastly, and surprisingly we could get this, we should mention Owadamondo, because Danganronpa hype and that fiery hair. And if you played the games, you know that Owada can stand the heat.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to our last member from UU, Krookodile, Tanaka Gundam, and yeah, this Mon just hits so hard. I really missed having Stab Dark type in the last season. Liepard doesn't really count, but because it's not great at what it does. And so I really wanted something that can just spam knockoff and hit hard with knockoff. And Krookodile is exactly that. It can come in, it can be banded, scarfed, Intimidate or Moxie to, Intimidate to help get a setup opportunity, Moxie to just sweep towards the end. It can run Knockoff, Earthquake, 2 great stab moves and spammable typings. Its speed stat is decent while having a solid attack stat and a little bit of physical bulk too. So it's a really good Mon, and I'm really happy that we have a good knockoff user.
I had Krookodile in Season 1 of this, and it was my MVP by far. It killed everything. It's so strong. You just spam knockoff, to be honest. That's just all you need to do, because you're not safe to just sack something after this because of Moxie.
Right.
If you give this one boost, you're kind of screwed, maybe, if you don't have a really good check. It also gives us an electric immunity, which is amazing to have, obviously, for rule switch reasons. And Earthquake and Knockoff, that's one of the best stab combinations you can have, to be honest. It's so good. And with Intimidate, too. Krookodile is amazing. Such a good Pokemon to have.
Also, really helpful to have a Pursuit Trapper, to especially bring it in on threats, maybe, and weaken them at least with Pursuit as they switch out to help set up for other sweepers. So, really pivotal Pokemon. It could be really important for helping set up for other sweepers or become a sweeper itself.
Yeah.
And so, moving on to RU. When we got to RU, we were like, holy cow, there's so much bulk in RU. We were we've got a lot of threats for now. We got Infernape, we got Krookodile, we got Sylveon, Latios, Mega Scizor. We got a lot of offensive pressure. And they can run some bulkier sets, but they are primarily offensive pressure. And we were like, okay, RU, we'll just get some bulk. There's Kofagrigus, there's Blastoise, there's Kofagrigus, I already said. There was Tangrowth. Oh my god, we wanted Tangrowth. And there was a Alomomola, but now Alomomola is being suspect tested. So we looked at this tier and we were like, there is just so much bulk. All right, we'll get our bulkier mons there. And then we just got ridiculously sniped. We got sniped so hard. We were towards the end of the snake here, so we did not get any of our draft picks. And when it finally got to our turn, we were like,
everything was gone.
What do we want? Everything we wanted was just gone.
Yeah, it took us maybe 10 minutes to just think of something we wanted. We had to think for that long during the draft. It was impossible.
Yeah, it was a lot. But in the end, we ended up choosing Magneton, which is really nice because we already have some ground immunities, which is its biggest immunity, and we have some nice fire resists. But more importantly, this is a slow Volt Switcher that also hits hard. Its abilities, we got Magnet Pull and we got Analytic. So we could use this to trap Steel types at some point, and we could also use this to hit hard with Analytic. Magneton is really slow, And what Analytic does is if the Pokemon moves second or if the other Pokemon switches out, you pretty much add an extra 30% damage. It's like a free life orb. And, you know, Specs Magneton, look at that special attack stat, 120. That's not something you can take lightly.
Yeah. Magneton is also faster than Magnezone, actually, which can be good if you're running a Scarf set, if we ever do that.
Right.
Because Magnezone, I had that problem when I used it. I was like, even with Scarf, it always got outspeed.
It did outspeed Doug Trio. Yep. So yeah, it can be really helpful. It could also be bulky within a Violite. Tank some hits pretty well in addition to being one of those solid pivots that can, you know, tank a hit and then get a slow volt switch into one of our heavier hitters. And yeah, that's pretty much the role Magneton's going to play.
It also pairs pretty well with Scizor or Latios, which kind of gets walled by steel types. We could just switch in Magneton and maybe just trap them in and just kill them pretty much. Because there's not a lot of steel types that can do a lot back to Magneton, which is good. That's very good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree there.
Yeah. Sturdy isn't terrible either.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. So the next mon we picked was Ambipom, and we were super torn again because we were like, we still don't have anything we wanted available. So we tried to improvise, and we thought, you know, like a normal type move to just like spam, or a normal type mon to spam, is actually really helpful in the league format. And Ambipom has a great fake out. Fake out is so good for getting chip damage and just kind of like a hit and run tactic. We got a really fast U-turn user here that can maybe pivot into one of our bulkier, you know, Magneton, maybe even Scizor, maybe Latios, maybe Rotomwash, and then keep this Volt turn core going where we get this little bit of chip damage and then we just bring in one thing that sweeps the entire team.
Yeah.
And Ambipom, over and over, you know, brings it in, fake out, and then U-turn out, and then get that chip damage so consistently. And it's such a strong fake out too. And it's also got ridiculous move pool. So
yeah,
it's got a lot of great coverage.
I love Ambipom so much because it can learn so many good things. Like, it has fake out U-turn, obviously. Even double hit can do massive damage. With
double hit, return.
Yeah. It also has
break.
Bunk Shot, Seed Bomb for some reason. It has all these moves because it's a more normal type, but it also has like really good speed and attack, which is amazing, and U-turn. We have so many bolt turn Pokemon, which is gonna annoy a lot of people, but whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Going for the W. And so then our last mon from RU was actually Hoopa, a Pokemon I've literally never used. However, look at that special attack stat. Look at that special attack stat. Holy cow, how is this mon in RU? So obviously it's Psychic Dark type, so it's 4 times weak to Bug, which is super common with U-turn users rampant in various like tiers.
So, it's weak to Dark in the Ghost.
Oh, Psychic Ghost. My bad. I thought it was Psychic Dark for a second. Yeah, but no, it's super weak to Knockoff. And it's also really easily Pursuit trapped. So that's kind of where one of its big weaknesses is, especially because its speed stat is not that impressive. It's got great Spadef, though, in addition to an HP stat, and like its attack is still really good, even though it is nothing compared to his special attack stat. So this thing can just come in and tear holes through the opponent's team with Stab Shadow Ball, and like there isn't a lot that can take Stab Shadow Ball from maybe a Scarf, maybe a Specs Hoopa, especially after chip damage from like a Volt Turn core.
Yeah. Hoopa hits so hard. Even physical attacks. I don't know its physical move pool that well. Maybe like Hyperspace Fury or whatever that move is. I don't know.
Hyperspace Fury, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that on like Wish Passers or something just to catch them off guard. When they use Protect, just nope, you're dead. But yeah, Hoopa is really great. It was kind of like a last thing.
It was our last pick. Yeah. There wasn't a lot left. We weren't really sure what to get.
Yeah.
And then we saw that, you know, on our team where we're going to have some great threats and setting up for them with Volt Turn, this is something that can come in and just tear a hole.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So,
we've completely forgotten to say the names.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Okay. All right, going back to Magneton, we got Alter Ego from Rampa. Super hype, no spoils, but hype. And then we've got Ambipom, which is Fukuoka Toko. Why did we name? I don't know. Hands
I don't
scratching.
know.
I don't know. It just kind of gives me the vibe
Yeah.
of Fuqua.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then you suggested Great Gozu for
Yeah.
Hoopla, and
A lot of people in my chat actually gave me a lot of they judged me for this name because they were like, it doesn't look like him at all, but I just did it for the rings. So
the rings. It's all about the rings.
it's all about the rings.
Okay.
But yeah,
All
let's
right.
go to NU then.
And you, first of all, we got your waifu coming back from season 2 on the Chicago Muse. God, I loved using this Pokemon, Garbodor. It is very versatile. It's a very strange Pokemon. It's got toxic spikes. It's got spikes. It has decent bulk. It can run physically defensive. It can actually run specially offensive or physically offensive moves too. Its ability is Aftermath, so if it gets killed by a physical attack, the user of that physical attack loses 25% of their HP. So, Rocky Helmet plus Aftermath is like a great combination for Garbodor. And poison typing is really good too, especially when we have so many ground immunities. And we have a great dark type that is immune to psychic. So, yeah, it'll be really nice to have more hazards on our team, especially because our only hazard users up to this point have been Krookodile and Fernet. Which is admittedly a weakness of our team.
And toxic spikes. So.
Yeah. So we got toxic spikes and spikes here, and all it sometimes takes is one spike to put you in range of like a hard hit from one of our wall breakers.
Yeah, Garbodor is really good. Like I learned that from your team pretty much. I didn't really see it as a threat at first, but then I saw you like completely win against Sam just with this alone, pretty much.
Yeah, Garbodor put in so much work. It was great.
Yeah, it's great. And it also has Drain Punch, Gunk Shot. It's a good fairy switch in, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're not going to stay in, so we pretty much get it like a free Toxic Spikes whenever we just put that on a fairy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Great.
And, alright, so the next Mon. A pretty crazy, pretty loco Mon. We got Ludicolo. Oh my god, I love this Pokemon so much. It's
Ludicolo,
so funny.
one of my favorite.
It just looks ridiculous, and it's so much fun. Name, Mirror B. If you haven't played Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, you need to, because Mirror B is great. And, yeah. Ludicolo is just so funny. It's pretty one-dimensional. It can run Fake Out. It can be a Swift Swim Sweeper, but generally it's got, Giga Drain or Grass Knot, Surf, Hydro Pump maybe, Scald maybe. I think it gets access to Scald.
Yeah, definitely. It gets Scald, yeah.
Okay,
Leech Seed.
Maybe Ice Beam, Leech Seed.
We can run like a special ball Ludicolo, because its special defense is pretty good.
Yeah, its Spadef and HP are pretty solid, so you can run like maybe AV Ludicolo. But I've also seen Life Orb Ludicolo, because this thing can hit pretty hard, especially under the rain.
It also gets knockoff, so we have another knockoff user here.
Yeah. So, you never know what role Ludicolo is going to fill, but it's pretty good value for NU. And it's also the completion of our Fire, Water, Grass core.
Yeah, there we go. So now we have Steel, Fairy, Dragon, and Fire, Water, Grass. So
yeah.
I think one of the reasons we really wanted this was because it's such a good water switch-in. Like, it can take Scalds for days, and like it's not immune to it, but a lot of Pokemon that are immune to water can't really hit water Pokemon back that hard. This is like 4 times resistant, and then just put on a Giga Drain or a Leech Seed if they switch out,
Right. Yeah. And so then lastly for NU, we've got Gary, the Gastrodon. We know Gastrodon is not a snail like Gary is in SpongeBob. We know you don't need to comment about it. We know that Gastrodon is a sea slug. Like, we get it. But we couldn't come up with any better name, so it's Gary. Just gonna have to deal with it.
It's Gary.
So Gastrodon is, in my opinion, a really great value pick for NU, especially as one of the mons that actually sees a decent amount of use in OU. Look at that HP stat. It is actually really bulky when you look at its Spadef as well, but also Storm Drain. It gets that special attack boost. It's immune to water type moves. It's only weak to grass, and it's kind of just a pain to deal with. We can run a Curse Gastrodon with Earthquake
Yeah, I've
and
seen that.
build up that weaker defense in addition to having some great specially defensive bulk. It can wear Mons down with Toxic and then recover. It can fire off some nice Scalds, get burns on forced switches, and that's kind of all it's going to do. It's an electric immunity, it is a water immunity, and who knows? It might fill a great role on some
that
teams.
grass weakness doesn't really bother us at all looking at our team. So.
Yeah, with our steel types and our dragon types, grass is something that we've got some good answers for.
Yeah, and everything with recover is it's good.
Right.
Because recover
right.
is the best recovery moves.
So, lastly, we got the PU tier. And we had the first pick for PU, so of course, we're bringing back Ixavamukuro, Ditto, and we're not going to explain the name here, but Ditto is such a great Pokemon. I love Ditto so much.
I hated you fighting you with Ditto. That was so annoying.
Ditto is so great. It is so difficult to use because, you never really know how you're going to use it until you get to the game.
Yeah.
But you have to be ready to use it and kind of, improvise. It can be great for scouting opponent sets, because when you transform to them, you see all of their moves. It can be great for, a lot of Pokemon don't beat themselves. So that's something no other Pokemon runs into in this format, where one Pokemon can only be on one team. And so a lot of Pokemon don't have to worry about being countered by themselves. So Ditto puts in a lot of work. It can be a great sweeper with a Choice Scarf.
Yeah.
It prevents Pokemon from setting up, because as soon as I bring in Ditto, it transforms into them and steals all of their boosts. And if it's got a Scarf, it's going to be faster and it's going to KO them. And it just throws so much in the mix with team building that
people have to be really careful with Ditto. For a PU pick, that's one of the best, because not a lot of PU Pokemon can scare
without a doubt
that
the
hard.
best. Yeah, without a doubt the best. Followed only by Shedinja, in my opinion.
Meowstic Mail.
But,
in my personal opinion, I love that thing.
I see it. But Shedinja, though. Anyways, next Pokemon, we've got Cryogonal, named Angel Beats, because like this, if you cry, every Tim. Cryogonal. I wasn't too keen on Cryogonal, but we needed Ice Stab. And it's good. It's got recovery. It's got rapid spin support.
It's also pretty fast, so it can just be an offensive Pokemon, like with Ice Beam. Or it actually has Freeze Strike too, which is very good.
Yeah, it's got decent Spadef in HP, in special attack and speed. It's just really frail on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And its typing makes it weak to a lot. So yeah, but you never know whether or not an Ice Shard will be helpful.
We didn't have any rapid spinners at this point.
We didn't have any rapid spinners. So it's good to have that at least as an option.
A lot of people have that ice weakness too. And no one ever gets an ice Pokemon, it seems like, because a lot of teams lack that ice Pokemon, which is, it's a good one.
And so then lastly, certainly not least, we got Monokuma, the Ursaring. And this one was more so my suggestion, because I had seen a Pokemon shown on live by MV where he used this in OU, and it's actually really good. Mm-hmm. It's got the ability Guts or Quick Feet, so you throw on Toxic Orb or something like that, and you double that speed with that pretty high attack stat, in addition to access to Facade, and you're hitting something really hard every time. You've also got Close Combat, you've got, I think, Knockoff maybe? You've got Earthquake. It's got a decent move pool in addition to potentially hitting a good speed tier or hitting something just monstrously hard, while being able to probably tank at least one hit. And so, yeah, it was a pretty solid PU pick.
If you're slower than 55, you're kind of screwed there. Because it's so hard.
No, there's no way you're tanking. There's just no way. That's about it, though. And so, the team as a whole, I think it meshes together really well. We've got some great type synergy. We definitely fit our theme of offense with Volt Turn. We have plenty of fast and slow Volt Switch and U-Turn users that can help set up for our heavier hitters. We've got a couple hazard setters that we don't really need to stack a lot of hazards. We just need a little bit of chip damage here and there that a lot of our Pokemon can provide, especially our pivots with U-turn and Volt Switch, so that our wall breakers can come in and just tear holes.
Yeah.
And so it should be fun. We've got 8 weeks. Hopefully we make the playoffs and make it our way to the championship.
Yeah.
And
we fight Ethan and Matt first week, and Matt is a completely new battler. No one's ever battled him before, and apparently he is pretty good, so might be scary.
So it should be good. It should be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited, and I hope everyone is also excited to watch these. Be sure to give it a go if you haven't checked out the Counter League team format. Watch my team building video, look at all the thought that goes into it, look at all the fun sets you come up with, look at how useful typically unused Pokemon become, and just enjoy the battles, because it's great.
Yep.
But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.